everyone, and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing our best Legacy Doomsday impression in Standard using the new card Doomsday Excruciator. Yeah, I always want to say Executioner when I see that, but it's Excruciator. It is 6 black mana, so this will typically only be ever found in a mono black build for the most part. As you can see, we have a little bit of red in here, and I'll get to that just in a second. But this card has flying. That part really doesn't matter. Whenever it enters, if it was cast, each player exiles all but the bottom 6 cards of their library face down. So you won't even get to see what you exiled, nor will your opponent know what they have exiled. It'll be a random 6 cards on the bottom. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card. That line is very important. So if we're not careful when we cast this, we will actually, it'll like pass to our opponent. They'll draw, they'll go to 5 cards. We'll go to our turn, we'll go to 4. Then they'll draw and go to 4. And if Doomsday does not get answered by them or ourselves, then they'll actually end up winning the game and we'll lose to our own card. But we have that covered, hopefully. And that is with Rakdos the Muscle. The main part of this card that is important is whenever you sacrifice another creature, exile cards equal to its mana value. Doomsday happens to be 6, and there's only 6 cards left in their deck. That's very important. Whenever a thing is sacrificed, exile cards equal to top target player's library until the next end step you may cast them. But its bottom ability also states that we can sacrifice another creature. Rakdos gains indestructible. That part's not really important again, but we can activate that at any time. So realistically, on turn 5, we want to be putting Rakdos the Muscle into play, sacrificing any other creature we need to make sure it stays alive through that turn cycle, cast a Doomsday on our turn, the following turn after, and then hopefully having Rakdos in play still, sacrificing the Doomsday, exiling our opponent's last 6 cards that they have left, passing to them, and they'll draw no card in their library, which is, of course, in Magic, a game loss if you have no more cards left in your library. So what are we doing to get there? We are probably playing the most solid cards that we can be in black to make sure that we can support ourselves along the journey in order to get to this. We are playing 4 cutdowns. Got to be on 4 now with how good mono red is. We need to constantly have an answer. I have 3 go for the throats. I have 2 Anoint with Affliction. I've been a big fan of this card recently. The exile part being so important and also having instant speed is very, very good and helps out a lot against those aggro matches as well. Deep-Cavern Bat to do what it's always done and take the best card from our opponent. Preacher to be a stabilizer along with Sheoldred to get us value, make little tokens for Rakdos and things of that nature. And then using the final virtue as a little bit of removal, a little bit of life gain, things like that. This is a little bit better against like bunnies, for example, than it will be for mono red. But with that said, we also have the final card in Demonic Counsel. Search your library for a demon card, reveal it, put it into our hand. That helps us find 1 or 2. The bottom part has Delirium. Most likely that'll never be turned on in this deck, even though it can be. If we have one of these in the graveyard, a creature, a spell, and a land, it can happen. The main problem being Virtue, when we cast it, it goes to exile, so it will not fit the Delirium kind of cost for the Demonic Counsel. So, with that said, a lot of yapping, a lot to cover real quick. Let's go ahead and dive into the games. If y'all enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Let's go see how many times we can exile our opponent's library and win the game. Alright, cool. We can go first. It means we're not just dead to red. Very cool. Maybe they're not on red. You never know. It could be. I hope not. I land. Sheoldred, we already got one of those, so we'll bin it. For now. For now. Outport leaves a lot to be questioned. Boros, most likely the culprit. Or colorless. We'll play this. Thankfully, Demo Field has no effect on what we do. They are Boros. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna punish this. Slow start from them. We find a Doomsday. Best thing about this card is, like, once they play a Caretaker's Talent, if they can't end the game, this will win actually for us. So now they have an option. Temporary Lockdown, not good enough. Lightning Helix, not good enough. Get Lost could happen. This is an upkeep Scry with the Flanker. We will be removing it. This can't be played for 2 turns. Scry both the top. Could be land Sunfall potentially. So we're just probably not going to commit no land at all. Okay. pop this out of the way. I don't know what they capped at. No land draw was the option, but down to a quick 11, going to be down to 9 with Sheoldred, unless this is a get lost, of course, which it is. That's fine. We have a second Sheoldred. Okay, now this could be a land for sure. That is what they find. Don't find a land ourselves. I'm gonna slam a Sheoldred, I guess. I know, very strange play from us. Down to 8. They'll be down to 6. We'll try to find another land here. I'll just target my little token that dies to a temporary lockdown. We do find a land, which is huge, which means our Doomsday will be good. And the thing about Doomsday, right, is we'll both go to 6 cards, idealistically, and they draw a card first. So as long as Doomsday dies, they will be ahead of us on cards. Double Scribe bottom now. An upkeep, they take a draw. Sheoldred puts them to 8. Play another land. They have a block for Sheoldred. And this is a case where, like, this sucks because I could just end the game, which I can, so I guess I just do, right? I could have a torch. Nah, I'm doing. We just end the game. Just BM not to, I guess. And we always have this as a backup plan, right? My target here. Hit a land. Yeah, maybe they have removal for my 1/1. Here. Go to 3. Draw another Preacher, sure. My max hand size is going to be broken anyway, so we'll just play the Preacher because I'd rather do that than just discard a land or something. But who knows? Maybe they Sunfall here, and then I get to Doomsday them anyway, which would be sick. Yeah! I'm kind of excited. Do I actually go for this instead? I have another creature, right? I might cast Rakdos. And I'll pass. The idea with Rakdos is to cast Doomsday, both of us go to 6, and then use Rakdos sack on Doomsday to exile their last 6 cards. Feels like a combo mill deck. This one. I think they were wanting us to block so they could Helix, which I'm not that interested in. Yeah, I was gonna say. Also, Rakdos is lethal with Trample. I got the Doomsday. That will be lethal in terms of combat as well. So, we had that game completely covered when they missed that land drop. We go first. We can find one of the pieces and we can disrupt. Plus, we got like good solid removal. Especially because this can blow up like any early threat. Cut down good. I don't think I need more lands necessarily right now. I need more land right now than anything. Control is going to be the hardest matchup, honestly. This one, they're on a 2-lander, by the way. They're on a 2-lander. We're going to fire this off while hopefully they don't have a counterspell. No attack. We have a smite, so we don't give it value if we can choose not to. They deduce the draw, maybe they'll miss. Ah. Never missed, dude. Now they still have the smite, so no attack for us. Fine land. Rakdos. Now, indestructible doesn't even work, right? Yeah, it's destroy, and that's destroy. And the mana's weird. They're doing the big read, I get it. Next. No. In turn. Oh, they cracked for a deduce, okay. They go for the removal now. No. I mean, I have Sunfall. They're really going for the land here. What's up? What's up here, opponent? Oh, boy. I have to do this now, I think. I don't know. You, I guess. I have lands. They miss. Do they not have a land here? They're on in. Oh, they are. Wait. The Mirix lets me do it too. I cast. We both exile. This one. We target them. Wow, who would have thought against control I'd get to do the combo? Against control of all decks, I got to do it because they miss lands. The dog's having a good time. I'll keep. Why not? This is an awful hand, but I'll keep. As long as we find Preacher, maybe we'll be fine, I think. Especially with these bats. Preacher's really good because it like draws cards and stuff. That's more or less what I'm meaning. And we're on to play again. Wow. There's the red gamer. We knew they would show up eventually. I could go for Deep-Cavern Bat, but there's just no reason. We pass. We see if they want to target this thing or not. They are a red player. That's a draw effect, so we just have to exile. Basically, why I'm going with Anoint here over the cut down is because they could obviously, potentially, I guess maybe not obviously, but they could play another spell. But I get exactly what I want. I wish I would have got to it in time. But this case, if they have another 1-drop creature, now my cut down can answer it on my turn, and then I can go for a Deep-Cavern Bat. Or I could go for the third if I feel like that's necessary. But here with 2 cards in their hand, I'm batting. Hopefully one of these is another land. I mean, we'll take the only creature. So if they draw another creature and they only have like a monster trade, this is definitely the worst one for them to have, because for us at least, because that gives them extra cards. It gets basically draws a card in their deck. But now we're stuck with Deep-Cavern Bats. We'll get to gain a lot of life here. We'll have to go for a throw. Land draw is best draw, because then that opens up our deck a lot, where we can draw like Sheoldred and stuff like that, or we can double spell, like play Deep-Cavern Bat and hold up a go for the throat. But maybe our red opponent decides they've had enough and they don't want to be here anymore. So I'll come back whenever they either pass their turn, make no game action, or whatever. All right, that should be the concession. They had 0 timeouts, and Arena let him time out 3 times. Sometimes it's only 1 time, sometimes it's twice. I have no idea. Regardless, we made a mono red player salty because I actually had removal in my opener, and they hated everything about that. And I was able to answer all 3 of their creatures, so you know, they're currently downloading Hearthstone. I love my dog. All right, we'll keep, even though this isn't technically castable, but we have 4 lands or whatever before we get there. And my general rule of thumb now is like keep removal and just hope you don't play against control most times. Could be rabbits, don't really know what that means. Could be domain technically, and it's at least Bant. Most likely, if I had to guess, it's domain. So let's get our Preacher down. Hopefully Preacher can get a draw here. We'll see what happens though. There's another tap land. Looks like it's just Bant control. I'm gonna surveil first. Don't really have anything else to hold up. That's 5, 6. I'm gonna keep it. We'll attack. We'll get that trigger to happen. We'll make a 1/1 and we'll draw that top card. Don't really mind, especially if it stays around for a turn. Like, I'll be happy to have this surveilled next time. And with our hand being so top heavy, I feel like we have to. Yeah, all right, we're against them, man. I think I just don't know. I don't necessarily know the reasoning for playing this one. Most times it's only this one they play, but Leyline Binding is short, right? No red. Yeah, so it is not available right now. So most likely this is going to be able to get another trigger to happen. Now, do I want to get Rakdos down or not? Sunfall is available. That would suck. I guess the problem though, I should just attack. If I hit another land, I hit another land. Yeah, that's tough. Yes. This deck draws a ton regardless. So if I find the creature, I'm just going to keep it regardless. I mean, I'll keep a creature for a reload, I suppose. I guess it's just a weird thing where, like, I can get Sunfall here, I guess. There's an Angel, sure. Sure. Fine. I can always bring Preacher back, so it's not that concerning. Honestly, we kind of want to bait them into playing a Beanstalk at some point. We have so many cards in hand. This is a weird experience. I could establish this Rakdos now, I guess. I could Virtue this and then cut down it out of the way and then play my Preacher. I guess that's also fine with me. This down. The only thing I really can't beat unless I rip a Go for the third at some point is an Atraxa. Like, I guess I could have held both Virtues and a cut down to answer the Atraxa, which I guess is possible. There's the Sunfall that we pretty much knew was coming. Now Binding's obviously possible as well. Here comes the Thin so they can sack. This is one of the things in Paper that kind of sucks, is like, or it's good in Paper, is you're like, I'm gonna play Fable, crack it, and I'm also gonna crack the Harvest because they're both can grab whatever land they need. Well, what's that here? This can board wipe, destroy all creatures. I guess it's weird. So I guess we take Atraxa. And we can see if they mess up. We can give this indestructible, but they can take all the abilities away. Which they should do it regardless, but there's only why this next step you may play those cards. Yes, I guess I get them. So like I will exile the card regardless. We have a lot of good draws. Although Trax is not necessarily that great, I guess. Oh no, opponent. Not like that, dude. Remember that thing I said about Paper being really cool? That mistake never happens. Listen, I'm all about being brave, but that's a bit ambitious. Yeah, we'll keep this. I'll just send one of these boys at the bottom, even though that's probably still incorrect. I'm on the play. I guess we just follow the same strategies we did last time, where I'll just play this tap land, anoint whatever they play if they play anything important, and then cut down it on the following turn if it comes down to that. But looks like we got Simic here. Interesting. We'll get rid of that. I don't know what I'm playing against. They're at the 91%, so they're definitely goofing. Whenever you made for trade, I think they missed a land, so I'm all about just like removing as much as I can. And they look like they're manifesting dread and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what they're doing. Okay. I'm only drawing lands, and I'm drawing all their lands that they would like, apparently. Because my plan. Okay. This one, I guess. We either win or lose by it. I have no idea, and we'll see if we put all of our they're face down. Oh, I forgot. We don't know. Uh-oh. Yeah. You know what? If I lose to it, I lose to it. I don't even care. I have 4. They have 4. If they dread, they go ahead. I'm going to lose mine in Doomsday. Because apparently all I got left is lands. Oh, I have a cut now. Yeah. Oh. That's kind of sick, to be honest. I can't even get that dead. This game's so stupid. I just realized how dumb this game looks. I just thought about them goofing. I'm 100% goofing as well. Hey, Sheoldred. There's no way. What's this last card? I gotta know. Bro, it's lying to me. I only have a couple of cards left. Dude, no way. I lost my own card, bro. They got it, bro. Oh, the only loss is to something absurd like that. Opponent goes first. We got removal, and a way to find our combo piece in a Rakdos. And they mold. So yeah, we'll keep. This is mono red, if I had to guess. Nice. This does just make black, so we're good to do this. I guess we just cut this down now. We can't really wait. Normally, I'd like, if we were on the play, I would definitely virtue there and have my cut down held up for the next turn, but here's a swift spear, and we get hit, sure. Immediately through combat and all. No pump. I go for virtue. If they had a way to pump this, sure. I mean, that's way less bad than a super prowess creature, right? So, like, I'm gonna get hit for a ton, maybe, but it's nowhere near as bad. So far, working out. I got a preacher ready to go. Ready to square up. I got death touch. No attack. That buys me all the time in the world. Do I attack? No, I just make a lifelinker. There's no point in attacking, I think. I need to look if there's another demon I could tutor with this. Instead of kind of where we're at. I guess I should technically deck then. And the reason why I talk about deck thinning there is so I can draw one more land for this. It's very small. Not gonna make the biggest change in the world, but you know, something you kind of have to do the math for sometimes. But then we'll get to play a flying trampler. There's a scamp. That's dangerous, incredibly dangerous. Because all they gotta do is pump it, fling it at us, and that's double damage there on like kind of like a double striker. If they attack, they're gonna get our preacher off the board. They do not attack though. All right, well, I have to play another creature, I think. I don't think there's any other way to go about it. Do I swing my preacher now? Because then I can get a lifelinker, which can put me at 16, but technically with this, with trample, this is actually putting me at 19. Yeah. We have to count toughness as lifelink right now. We could rely on them being really bad, but I don't really want to do that. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Should I target myself or them? No, I have to target myself because it's got to be a black land. Yeah, I would like to target myself with this ability. Yeah, so we find the black land. It's tapped. Indestructible. It's a 6/1. Now they can hit me. There's no way I'm dying here. And we get to do the combo against a red player, which is kind of crazy. Don't do it. It's indestructible. Doesn't work. All right, we play a swamp. We cast Doomsday. Doomsday enters. We mill our entire library. Red's not going to read regardless, so it doesn't matter. I'll get to do the combo against them. And then I'll take their top 6. I'll pass, and then they'll draw for turn, and they'll lose the game. Very cool. We get that combo through. And on to the outro, I guess. Our legacy deck in standard. How well did it do today? It was definitely interesting. The biggest gripe that I had, I ended up cutting the games because it's just way easier to explain it than to watch me just sit there and do nothing. I played 27 lands, or we played 27 lands listed, and I ran 27, and there's a reason for that. Basically, from what I've heard and how Arena averages out the lands, is if you have 27, that makes the kind of hand sorting algorithm in terms of like best of 1 prioritize giving you 3 to 4 lands over 2 to 3. So you're way more likely to open up with a lot more lands. And with our combo being 6 mana and 5 mana, we definitely need that. So we want to stay at that 27 threshold. However, I won all my starting games. And then we saw the game where I flooded or like got unlucky and only hit lands the entire time. I proceeded to open up the next 2 games and only draw lands for the rest of the game in both of them. I removed things and then I drew 4 lands in a row in both those games, ending with like 9 lands in total in my hand. So that was disgusting to start off. But however, we weirdly did well, and I'm not entirely sure how. I don't know if there's another demon that we can play that's a little bit cheaper. I definitely like this a little bit. The main reason why, maybe even this, sacrificing a creature or artifact, draw a card. I understand it's a 2/2, but the issue I was having Demonic Counsel, which was good. I only had 3 of. One game I drew all 3, which was weird. But Delirium's not really ever going to get turned on in our deck without the Surveil land hitting something. We don't really play any sorceries because we really can't right now. And this goes into Exile because that's where the Adventure Zone is. So Delirium never really gets turned on. So we're either tutoring out a 5-drop or a 6-drop. And I would like to be able to potentially, like, on that turn 3, like if I go turn 1 removal, and then on turn 3, if I have to tutor something because it makes more sense, I can go grab maybe like an Archfiend or something. So I definitely right away. Oh my gosh, I'm like dying. I don't know what's going on. I would definitely right away like to like cut a Sheoldred almost and add an Archfiend, something like this maybe. And just so I can have it to tutor it, or even like do something maybe like this. That might be a bit much, but I'm unsure for the most part. I liked having Virtue a lot, or even like maybe trim one of these. But we only have so many of these. We want to make sure we're finding it. Or even run this guy, you know, just something that we can put in that's not necessarily going to cause a lot of problems with this Demonic Counsel, Demonic Counsel. So I'm going to put these in the side just so I remember to kind of talk about them a bit. But with that said, it ran well. Is it good? No, it's not good. The only reason we're able to win a lot of those games is because Black has the best removal suite, and that's what we kind of showcase more than anything here. With all this removal here and a really strong foundation like Preacher, Sheoldred, and Deep-Cavern Bat, realistically, if you run this here, maybe not Virtue I don't think falls in that category, but if you run this for the most part, you're probably going to be able to win some games overall, just because this is annoying. This draws cards and is annoying. This is a really good 4-drop. And then, of course, like having some top-end play. Like, if this was any other card that was, like, really nice and good, or, like, and these were anything else, you can find a lot of wins, I think, with that regardless. But with this combo being, like, a one-hit, one-punch kind of thing, it's actually really nice. The only other thing I would say is maybe put Caverns in. We did play against Control right away, almost, and I was like, wow, this has to just resolve. So I would also maybe slide in some Caverns, maybe 2. It shouldn't cost you too much. I can't imagine it costs you too much because the likelihood of opening up with both Caverns is rare. but it definitely can happen. But with how our mana cost in our deck is, you really only ever need one black at any given time, so you should be fine. Outside of, like, obviously Sheoldred, but by turn 4, if you have 2 caverns, you'll automatically have 2 other black sources. So it is what it is. Outside of that, that's all I got. It was fun. A little clickbaity, of course, you know, calling a legacy deck in standard, and it's not what it is. But there is a Doomsday combo in legacy that's really fun, and this kind of fits that bill just a little bit differently. But a weird way to find use out of Rakdos, and a way to make this card somehow playable in standard. But it's super fun. If you happen to have it, cool. If not, I randomly had these, no idea why. I definitely did not craft them. I must have randomly opened them. But 4 mythics, 3 rares, definitely expensive. If you ever play black, most likely you have all this, I would imagine, because these are your best cards in black for the most part. Virtue, obviously, maybe you only have 2. If that's the case, just run another removal spell like Anoint or something like that. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed regardless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.